Okay, very good morning to all of you. We are talking about swing component. That is, how can we use powerful, how can we use the different components of the swings to create powerful graphical user interfaces. And in this class, we'll be discussing about some more aspects of creating powerful GUIs by using different swing components. By using different swing components. Right? This is what we have studied very recently. That is scroll pane we have studied. So the basically scroll pane is used for including horizontal scroll bar and vertical scroll bar if the component is not completely visible within the viewport of the applet display area. So that is when we use the scroll pane. Now we have one more entity called JList. So it is a swing class which is responsible for creating list of items, which will provide the graphical user interface in such a way that a list of items will be displayed to the user and user will be allowed or asked to select some of the items or items from the given list. So it is going to support the selection of either a single item or more than one item depending on the type of constant what you are using in the constructor. So depending on the type of implementation, in a list of items, you can either allow only one item to be selected or more than one item to be selected. Right? So that is what is the list, and it has one constructor. It has a different constructor. The frequently used is the JList constructor, which takes one array as the parameter. That means array of objects as a parameter, and that is going to contain the items in the array specified by the item. That means whatever items you want to include within the list, so that will be passed as a parameter to the JList constructor. That means if you want to create an array of all the students in the 4th semester classroom, then that list will be passed as a parameter, right? So it is basically, it works basically based on two models, the list model and the list selection model. So what the list model, this interface is going to define how we can access the list. That means in what way you are allowed to access the data present within the list. And what list selection model interface does here is, it's going to define the methods which will determine, so what are the items that you have selected. What items you have selected, whether you have selected 2 items or 5 items or 10 items. So that is what is present in the list selection model. List model, it will define the access to the data. List selection, how you are selecting the data, that is how many data you have selected. So usually what we do here is, JList is included within the JScroll pane, because whenever you are creating the list of items, it is possible that the whole list may not be displayed in the viewport of the applet display area. Then we may need the horizontal scroll bar and vertical scroll bar. So usually this JList is included within the JScroll pane. And whenever you select the item, then the list selection event will be generated. Because if you select the item or deselect the item or change the item, so whatever you do with the list items, the list selection event will take place. And the corresponding listener will be called. And the listener implemented for this is list selection listener. For the list selection event, we will be having list selection listener. The corresponding listener will be there, because once the list of items are there, you should you should take care of the corresponding action. And the single method present within the listener is the value changed method. The method present within the listener is value changed method. That means what list selection event has occurred. That means whether user has selected the list item or deselected the list item or changed the selected item. And these listeners and selection event are defined within the package called javax.swing.event. And as I said, by default, JList is going to allow user to select multiple items from the list. By default, it will select you to be capable of selecting more than one item. But it is possible for us to select or change this behavior by calling the method called setSelectionModel. By default, from the list, you are allowed to select more than one item. But if you want to change that mode, we will use the method called setSelectionModel, which will set selection mode, which will take mode as a parameter. And that mode has three different constants. That is how you want the list to behave. Single selection means from the list of items, we are allowed to select only one item. If it is single interval selection, that means from a set of interval we are allowed to select. Then multiple means you are allowed to select across multiple range of values, right? And among the list of items, if you select any of the item in the list, if you want to know its index value, that is obtained by using the get selected index. So say for example, if there are 10 items in the list, their index value will start from 0, 1, 2 up to 9. And if among these, if you select this item, its index value is 2. That is third item's index value is 2. That is indexing will always start from 0. That means if you select the first item, the method will return 0. If none of the items are selected, the index returned value will be -1. This is how the list can be used. And if you want to obtain the selected value, whatever selection you have made, if you want to know the value corresponding to that, then we will invoke the method called get selected value. Let us see one example program to demonstrate the list of items. That is JList class. Right, we are defining a applet which will allow us to create the list of items, and user will be allowed to select the items from the list. User will be allowed to select the items from the list. These are the necessary import statements, the applet code to be executed, and these are the necessary objects what we use for creating the list, for creating the label, and this is what is the scroll pane, because the list is included within the scroll pane. And what is the list of items that we are passing? We are creating the list by using array of strings. By using array of strings, nothing but names of some cities we are using. Create an array of cities. So these many strings are there in this array. These many strings are there in this array, and they are stored within the ANSI one-dimensional array of strings. And the name of the array is called as cities. Now in the applet initialization method, we will invoke the make GUI function. And in creating the graphical user interface, we will make use of this array to create the list of items, or list of names of cities. And user will be asked to select some cities from that list. Now when we go to the GUI, that is, one second, it's here. Graphical user interface, as well we set the flow layout, then we are creating a new list. This is where we are creating new list and storing it in a list object called JLST. So see here, the JList constructor is taking the parameter called cities. So what is cities? Cities is an array of names of cities. This is what we have created just now. So this cities array is being passed as parameter to the JList constructor. to the JList method, and it's going to create the list, and that created list is assigned to JLST or JList. Now once you have created the list, now you have to define the selection mode. So just now we have seen three types of selection modes. From that list, how you want the user to select the items, either single item or multiple item. So that can be set by using the method called set selection mode, by using the method called set selection mode onto the JList object, onto the JList object. Now this list selection mode objects, we are going to make use of the constant present within the list selection model, and the mode which we are selecting is single selection. So single selection means from the list of cities or from the list of items, we are allowed to select only one item, not more than one item. Then that created list is being added to the scroll pane in this statement. Say you have created names X, Y, Z, A, B, C, the names of the cities. Then this is what is the selection mode. Once the selection mode is ready, then you are adding that to the scroll pane. So once you add that to the scroll pane, what it enables here is it enables the vertical, horizontal scroll bar and vertical scroll bar if required. If the display, if the component size is more than the display area, then automatically the scroll pane will be added. Then in the next statement, what we are doing here is we are defining some preferred size for the scroll pane. That means this scroll pane is here now. We are setting some. We can also define some size for that. What is the size with this dimension? What is the dimension? 120 pixels and 90 pixels. So that particular dimension is being set to the scroll pane. That means for this entire scroll pane, we are going to define some dimension. We are going to define some dimension for scrolling. Now this is where we are simply creating one label. So what we are doing by calling JLabel constructor, by calling JLabel method, we are simply passing a string called choose a city, and that is being assigned to the JLabel. That means it is just a label being given for user. So we are giving some message to the user saying that select a city. The list of items are given. Select anyone among that. And this is as well, we add the action listener for this. Whenever you select the item, so what is the action being performed in the background? In this case, action being performed is we are just getting obtaining the selected index for the from the list. If there are 10 items, if you select any of the item, then we are obtaining the index value of that item from the list. From the JList object, we are obtaining the index value of that, and that is being stored in a variable called IDX. What basically IDX contains now? IDX contains the index value of the list item which you have selected. Then there are two possibilities. Either you have selected, you can select the item, either the item gets selected or you may not have selected any of the items. Only two possibilities. So if it is not equal to -1, what it indicates, you have selected some item. Otherwise, we will give again a message to the user saying that you have to select any one item from the display. If you have selected, display its value. Else, what we do, we will again give the message to the user saying that you have to select a city. Then the created entire scroll pane with all these functionalities will be added to the scroll pane, and then finally will be added to the content pane. Then the label is also added to the content pane. So these two are added to the content pane. So let us see the demonstration. JList demo, Java C. It's being compiled. Right. Now let's make use of applet viewer. Right. JList demo. Okay, so as you can see, a list of items with the strings whatever we have passed is being created. So these names of cities was created, and the scroll bar is automatically added. The vertical scroll bar is automatically added. Now from this issue, select the city. I have selected some city called New York. So current selection is New York. Then selection changes. Then again selection changes. If you select New Delhi, the current selection is New Delhi, then Hong Kong, and so on. So this is one. This is what is the list of items which is being added, which is being enabled with the scroll pane. The list is included within the scroll pane. This is what is the scroll bar or scroll pane. Right now, further you can define the code, any code which you if you want, you can enter into the New York City, and then you can again define some more functionalities within the New York selection. So that is how we can go on developing the graphical user interfaces. Right, that was about the JList property supported by the swings. Now coming to another class, another swing component called JComboBox. So it is going to provide a combo box that is nothing but a combination of text field as well as a drop down list. So just now we have studied the list of items. So like that we can create the drop down list. That is, once you click on some selection icon, the list of items will be generated, or drop down list will be created along with the text field. Combination of both you can do, the list of items along with some text field, that is going to that will be supported by the combo box. And obviously it is with the help of JComboBox class. And basically it is going to display one entry, but it is possible for us to that we allow the user to select different entry also. So the constructor defines the JComboBox is JComboBox, which will take an object of type item object. So what actually item is it is an array that is going to initialize the combo box. That means within the combo box, what are the items that you want to include? What are the list that you want to include? So in addition to passing the array of items, which we are passing here, array of items, items can also be added during the execution, that is dynamically. Whenever in the real time also you can add by using the method called add item method. Right, as every component generates events, JComboBox also is going to generate the action event whenever user is going to select some item or deselect the item from the list, and the corresponding action listener will be called. And if you want to know which item has been selected, then we use the method called getSelectedItem. Yes, this is what is the combo box. Example for the combo box program. I'll go it here and explain it. The program for combo box. So these are the necessary preliminary statements. Right, and here in the list what we are going to provide here is, this is the label, and image icon. We are using icon based label in this with the icons of France, Germany, Italy, and Japan, which we used in earlier discussions. Then JCB is the combo box, which is going to include these objects. Array of strings. Flags is an array of strings which contains names of 4 countries. We'll be using these names while creating the icons, and this is where the initialization is there. And within initialization, we are calling the make_GUI function. Now within the make_GUI function, we are setting the flow layout default. Then this is where we are creating a combo box. We are creating an instance of a combo box, that is combination of text as well as the list. So for this combo box, what parameter we are passing? Flags we are passing as the parameter, that is array of strings. You can see here what is flags. Flags is an array of strings which is containing 4 strings: France, Germany, Italy, and Japan. Now that created combo box is being added to the content pane, because whatever component you create, that can be added to the content pane by using the add method. So that created combo box is being added to the content pane. Once you add that to the content pane, we are defining action listener for that combo box. We are defining action listener for that combo box. What is the action listener? Get the corresponding item. It will get the details of the item which the user has selected, which the programmer has selected, and this is what is typecasting. Convert it to string type and store it in the variable called string object called yes. So whatever item you select, this is what is called as typecasting. Convert it to string type and store it in the string object yes. Now with this, what we are doing here is we are calling the method called set icon. That means we are creating one icon. We are setting the icon with what? With this image icon method. We are calling the image icon method by passing this yes.gif as the parameter. That means what basically is this yes? Yes is nothing but the selection what you have made from the allowed strings. These are the strings: France, Germany, Italy, and Japan. That means France, Germany, Italy, and Japan. See, depending on the selected item, see, assume you have selected France. So if you have selected France, then this value S will be having the string called France. Then for this image icon method, we are passing what parameter? S with GIF, that is yes, and concatenate GIF. What is present in yes now? In yes, we have France. France.gif. This particular image is being passed as parameter to the image icon method. So what it does, it is going to create an icon based image, or it will make use of this image to create the icon. And then that created new icon is being passed as a parameter to the set icon method of the JLabel. That means this is nothing but we are creating an icon based label here. We are creating an icon based label like how we have discussed in JButtons. We are creating an icon based label. If you select Germany, then it will be Germany.gif will be used. That image will be used as a parameter to create the image icon. Then that created icon will be passed to the set icon method to create the icon based label. Then we are adding the label and adding it to the content pane. And finally, that label is also being added to the content pane. We create a label and add that to the content pane. Let us see the demonstration. I don't think whether the images are available or not, because those France, Germany, I had replaced them with okay, other images I have replaced. Probably it will be there. Java C. Yes, images are available. Right. So this is as the image size is larger. I just now this you can see it properly. Right. So as you can see, this is an icon based drop down menu list is being created along with the corresponding icon. So I don't have images for this France, Germany, Italy, and Japan. I am using some other images. So when you select France, the corresponding image is being displayed. Then Germany, this is the image icon based label along with the combo box, that is combination of text as well as the image. Then similarly when I select Italy, then when I select Japan. So such capability is provided by the JBox component. Right. So let us see one more component called JTable. So as the name itself says, table means it is a collection of items in terms of rows and columns. In terms of rows and columns. So as the name itself says, it is a component that is going to display the data in the form of rows and columns. And it is whenever we have created the label, it is possible for us to drag the cursor on the column boundaries to resize them. That is, when the column is created, you can either increase the size of the column or you can decrease the size of the column, which we'll see during the demonstration. Right? And if you want, we can take some columns from one place and move them to the other place also. So this functionality is also provided by the JTable component. Right? And JTable has different constructors, the very frequently used, and obviously like how we did earlier, the JTable is also embedded within the JScroll pane only. Why? Because whenever you are displaying the data in the form of rows and columns, the whole data may not be displayed at a time within the viewport. Then obviously we need the help of horizontal scroll bar. We may need the help of horizontal scroll bar or vertical scroll bar. For that reason, it will be always embedded or wrapped within the JScroll pane. The frequently used constructor is the JTable constructor, which takes two parameters. The data two-dimensional array in terms of rows and columns, and the column heads or headings for the different columns, whatever you are going to create. So here data is the two-dimensional array which we want to display. That is the information which we want to display. And whereas the column heads is a one-dimensional array which is going to contain the headings for the columns. Because when you talk about table, the tables will be having the headings, that is column headings. And those column headings are defined within the one-dimensional array called column heads. Right? So how to create the simple steps to create the JTable is, that means how to implement JTable. First, create an instance of the JTable. That is first step. That means first prepare the table by including by passing rows and columns of the data. The list of the component values are being passed and the table will be prepared first. Then once you prepare the table, add that to the scroll pane in the next step. Why? Because we want the table to be included within the scroll pane. Because once you create the table, what happens? It is possible that we may need the horizontal scroll bar or vertical scroll bar. That's why it is being embedded within the scroll pane. Then we create the scroll pane in the second step. Then in the third step, the created table will be added to the scroll pane. That is, add the table to the scroll pane in the third step. And in the fourth step, the created scroll pane will be embedded or added to the content pane. It will be added to the content pane. These are the simple steps for creating the JTable component. Okay, this is an example description for this example program. I'll take the example program here itself for describing it. Right. So demonstration of the JTable. Import the necessary statements. The applet code to be executed is JTable demo, and within the initialization method, what we are doing, we are going to call the make GUI function as well. See, most of the code is same. If you can observe, almost all code is same. Only some minor changes will be there from one component to other component. That's why it is very easy to remember. Some theoretical part you should remember, and it's very easy to remember code also. Most of the part is same. Only minor changes will change. Minor differences will be there. Right? So in the make GUI method, so the different column headings we are defining, because whenever we create the table like this, assume if this is what is our table which we are going to create. This is what is the table. Obviously, they will be having some column headings. What are the column headings which are being created here? Name is the first column, then extension is the second column, then ID number is the third column. So there is no fourth column. This is extra I have done. So these are the column headings which are being used while creating the table. Now the data, two-dimensional data which we are going to pass. That means the first row is this one. The data what we are creating, what we are using for creating is set of rows. What is the first row is something like this. That is 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, 65. Similarly, second enter, third enter. This is what is a two-dimensional data. What we are using as a data to be included within the table. To be included within the table. So here you can include any number of rows for creating the table. Now this is just the two-dimensional array what we have created, but it is not yet going to create the table. Table we are creating it in the next step. This is just the two-dimensional data. That two-dimensional data along with the names of column headers are passed as parameter to the JTable method. So what is data here? Data is this one, two-dimensional array. And what is the column heads? Column heads is containing these names. And remember, the data in each and every row must be containing 3 columns because the number of column headers is also 3. Number of column headers are 3 and the data is every row is having 4 columns. That is not allowed. So the number of entries in each row must be 3 only because the number of column headers is also 3. So this column headers as well as this two-dimensional data is passed to the JTable method. Now what we are doing with this statement here is we are creating a table with this data with these column headings and this newly created table is being assigned to the table object which is of type JTable. Now once you create the table, that table is included within the scroll pane. So as we discussed earlier, the table is usually wrapped or included within the scroll pane because once the table of data is created, we may need the scroll pane for scrolling either horizontally or vertically. Then finally that scroll pane is being added to the content pane by using the add method. That means ultimately these 4 simple steps, what we have done here is first created an instance of the table, then scroll pane is created, then add table to the scroll pane, then add scroll pane to the content pane. Right, this is what is the program what we have discussed. So this is the form of output what we get. So let us check this. I'll compile the program. Okay. Demo.java. Make use of applet viewer. JTable demo.java. Right, so as you can see, I'll just take it here so that you can see the things properly. So this is the table what we have created. Obviously, the number of columns are 3 what we have passed, that is name, extension and ID. And this is what is the table entry. These are the table entries, and obviously all the table entries are not displayed within the viewable port. Then vertical scroll bar is automatically added because this table is embedded within the scroll pane. Here vertical scroll bar is automatically added. Right. So if I increase its size, you can see here the vertical scroll bar is disappearing. So the vertical scroll bar is disappearing. Why? Because the viewable area is being increased. Right. Now another functionality. Just take the proper space. As you can see here, another functionality what we studied in the theory, we can resize this column size. We can make use of this button, and we can just click on the column at the middle of the 2 columns. Then we can increase or decrease their size. That is also possible. We can increase or decrease the size depending on the need. Then another thing here is, as you can see, the entire column I am moving. It is possible to move the columns. So you have created the table. If you want to move the table, that means you want the extension first, then name after. You can just click and hold it and move it wherever you want. If you want name at the end, just take it and move it at the end. That is possible. That's why the swings are very powerful GUIs. Depending on the need, you are allowed to change the appearance of the graphical user interface. We are allowed to change the appearance of the graphical user interface. So we can move it here. Extension can be moved here. It is possible. That's why swings allow us to create a powerful graphical user interfaces. This is a sample output. This completes your 5th module. So all the components related to the swings have been discussed.